Welcome all, and thank you for attending this 19th annual Poetry Out Loud contest at RHS. We have a fine group of poetry bulldogs who are excited to share with you their performances of the poems they have chosen and prepared. So I will make these introductory remarks as brief as possible. First, I would like to thank RHS English teacher Kristen Walsh, who will be assisting in the role of prompter tonight. I would also like to thank English teacher Amanda McDonough for assisting as our accuracy judge. Scoring the quality of the performances tonight will be three distinguished visitors. Karen Bond is a lawyer in private practice with an office in Whitman, Massachusetts. She graduated from Suffolk University Law School in 1985 and Dartmouth College in 1982, majoring in history and comparative literature. She was on the debate team in both high school and college and competed at the national level. Karen is an RHS class of 78 and a proud Bulldog. Susan Patton is a retired English teacher and administrator at the high school level. She also taught English at the Rockland Regional Adult Learning Center and later became director. Sue loves to cook, read, and has spent 20 years researching her family's genealogy. She currently resides in Derry, New Hampshire, spending her retirement with her husband, Jim. Together, they travel every chance they get and enjoy their family and church community. James Patton is a retired history teacher who taught and coached soccer for 40 years. He loved teaching middle school and coaching both boys and girls soccer, boys tennis, and yes, even a short-time stint as a cheerleading coach. In his free time, he loves being a grandpa to his 3 grandchildren, traveling, reading, and enjoying his wife's cooking. I would also like to take a moment to thank Principal Dr. John Harrison, English teacher Sean Carney, and former English teacher Carol Cahill for their attendance tonight. And as always, a huge thank you to WRPS for assisting with our setup and recording. Finally, it is my privilege to introduce the contestants. They will be competing in the order that I call their names. Sophia Viejo, Vivian Nguyen, Gabby Lynch, Corinne Medford, Cade Mead, Nicole Cedroni, Sanaya Jackson, Barack Silva, Licia Nassif. As many of you know, I am Kendra Donovan of the RHS English Department, and I will be your host this evening. The Poetry Out Loud contest is a statewide round robin, taking winners from individual schools to regional semifinals and then to state finals. A single champion from each state then goes to the national finals in Washington, D.C. In the 19 years of Poetry Out Loud so far, the RHS school champion has made it to the Massachusetts state finals 9 times, to the final 6 of the state finals 5 times, and to the Massachusetts championship and Washington, D.C. twice. Tonight's top scorer will be following in the footsteps of these outstanding Bulldogs of the past years, starting at the Southeastern Regional Semifinals. Though all our competitors will not move on in the competition, they all stand to gain much from tonight's event: performing experience, well-earned applause, and permanent ownership of the poems they have memorized. And let's not forget that the top 3 scorers will also receive prize money. The order of events is listed in your program. Round 1, recitations. Intermission with an open mic at which all are welcome to share their own poetry or favorite poems by another. Round 2, refreshments break in the library while the judges total their scores and deliberate. And finally, announcement of the results and feedback from the judges. To our audience members, if you could take a moment now to silence electronic devices, that would be most helpful. And a final word to our contestants. You each chose your poem because they communicated something special to you. This is your chance to communicate that something to us in the audience. We are all excited to hear what you have to say about these poems through your performances. Just a reminder, too, that the microphone is for the purposes of recording the event only and will not amplify your voice, so keep that in mind as you are performing. Ms. Walsh will serve as your prompter this evening if necessary. If you need her assistance, simply say "line" and she will prompt you. Without further ado, let's begin the competition. I'd like to welcome up our first competitor, Sophia Viejo.
To the Angel Beast by Eduardo C. Carroll. All that glitters isn't music. Once hidden in the tall grass, I tossed fistfuls of dirt into the air, doe after doe of leaping. You said it was nothing but a trick of the light. Gold curves, gold scarves. Am I not your animal? You'd wait in the orchard for hours to watch a deer break from its shadows. You said it was like lifting a cello from out of its black case.
Hold on one second, Vivian. Vivian, hold on. I'll call you up. Okay, I'm just going to give the judges a second. Judges, if you can just give me a signal when you're ready to go, be great. Next up is Vivian Nguyen.
Listening in Deep Space by Diane Thiel. We've always been out looking for answers, telling stories about ourselves, searching for connection, choosing to send out Stravinsky and whale song, which in translation might very well be our undoing instead of a welcome. We launched satellites, probes, telescopes unfolding like origami, navigating geomagnetic storms, major disruptions, rovers with spirit and perseverance mapping the unknown. We listen through large arrays adjusted eagerly to hear the news that we are not alone. Considering the history in continents, across continents, at home, we listen through large arrays adjusted eagerly to hear the news that we are not alone. Considering your history at home, in houses across continents, oceans, even in quests armed with good intentions, what one seeker has done to another, what will we do when we find each other?
Next, we have Gabby Lynch.
The Affliction of Richard by Robert Bridges. Love not too much, but how? When thou hast made me such, and dost thy gifts bestow, how can I love too much? Though I must fear to lose and drown my joy and care, with all its thorns I choose the path of love and prayer. Though thou, I know not why, didst kill my childish trust, that preach with toil did I repair, because I must. And spite of frightening schemes with which the fiends of hell blaspheme thee in my dreams, so far I have hoped well. But what the heavenly key, what marvel in me wrought, shall quite exculpate thee, I have no shadow of thought. But what am I that complain? The love from which began my question sad and vain justifies thee to man.
Next is Corinne Medford.
Flowers by Cynthia Zarin. This morning I was walking upstairs from the kitchen, carrying your beautiful flowers, the flowers you brought me last night, calla lilies, and something else. I'm not sure what to call them. White flowers. Of course, you had no way of knowing it has been years since I bought white flowers. But now you have, and here they are again. I was carrying your flowers and a coffee cup and a soft yellow handbag and a book of poems by a Chinese poet, in which I had just read the words, "Come or go, but don't just stand there in the doorway." As usual, I was carrying too many things. You would have laughed if you saw me. It seemed especially important not to spill the coffee as I usually do, as I turned up the stairs, inside the whirl of the house, as if I were walking up inside the lilies. I do not know how to hold all the beauty and sorrow of my life.
Next up is Cade Mead.
Diameter by Michelle Y. Burke. You love your friend, so you fly across the country to see her. Your friend is grieving. When you look at her, you see that something's missing. You look again, and she seems all there. Reading glasses, sarcasm, leather pumps. What did you expect? Ruins? Demeter without arms in the British Museum? Your friend says she believes there's more pain than beauty in the world. When Persephone was taken, Demeter damned the world for half the year. The other half remained warm and bountiful. Greeks loved symmetry. On the plane, the man next to you read a geometry book, lesson on finding the circumference of a circle. On circumference, you can calculate the way around if you know the way across. You try across with your friend. You try around. I don't believe in an afterlife, she says. But after Kay died, I thought I might go after her. In case I'm wrong. In case she's somewhere. Waiting.
Next, we have Nicole Cedroni.
Uphill by Christina Rossetti. Does the road wind uphill all the way? Yes, to the very end. Will the day's journey take the whole long day? From morn to night, my friend. But is there for the night a resting place? A roof for when the slow, dark hours begin? May not the darkness hide it from my face? You cannot miss that inn. Shall I meet other wayfarers at night? Those who have gone before? Then must I knock or call when just in sight? They will not keep you standing at the door. Shall I find comfort, travel sore and weak? Of labor you shall find the sum. Will there be beds for me and all who seek? Yeah, beds for all who come.
Next is Sanaya Jackson.
How to Break a Curse by Daniel Budu Fortune. Lemon balm is for forgiveness. Pull it from the roots deep in boiling water. Add locust wings, salt, the dried bones of hummingbirds. Drink when you feel ready. Drink even if you do not. Pepper seeds are for courage. Sprinkle them on your tongue. Sprinkle in the doorway and along the windowsill. Mix pepper and water to a thick paste. Spackle the cracks into the concrete. Anoint the part in your hair. You need as much courage as you can get. Water is for healing. Leave a jar open beneath a full moon. Let it rest. Drink when you feel ready. Drink even if you do not. The sharpened blade is for memory. Metal lives long, never grows weary of our comings and goings. Wrap this blade in newspaper. Keep beneath your bed. Be patient, daughter. Be patient.
Next up is Barack Silva.
Anthem for Doomed Youth by Wilfred Owen. What passing bells for these who die as cattle? Only the monstrous anger of the guns, only the stuttering rifles, rapid a rattle, can patter out their hasty orisons. No mockeries now for them, no prayer, no prayers, nor bells, nor any voice of mourning, save the choirs, the shrill, demented choirs of wailing shells, and bugles, calling for them from sad shires. What candles may be held to speed them all, not in the hands of boys, but in their eyes, shall shine the holy glimmers of goodbyes. The pallor of girls' brows shall be their pall, their flowers the tenderness of patient minds, and each slow dusk a drawing down of blinds.
And next we have Licia Nassif.
Listening in Deep Space by Diane Thiel. We've always been out looking for answers, telling stories about ourselves, searching for connection, choosing to send out Stravinsky and whale song, which, in translation, might very well be our undoing instead of a welcome. We launched satellites, probes, telescopes unfolding like origami, navigating geomagnetic storms, major disruptions, rovers with spirit and perseverance mapping the unknown. We listened through large arrays adjusted eagerly to hear the news that we are not alone, considering the history at home, in houses, across continents, oceans, even in quests armed with good intentions. What one seeker has done to another. What will we do when we find each other?
We are now going to have a brief intermission with an open mic. So if you have a poem that you'd like to share, feel free to come up and share a poem. Don't be shy.
Hello. My name is Karen Hafner. I am the president of the Friends of Rockland Memorial Library, and I organize poetry, 5-minute prose, and storytelling events. Some of you can probably see what this is. Packets of tomato seeds. I just bought tomato seeds, and that made me think of this poem that I wrote last year, kind of around this time. It's a two-part poem, which I don't know if there's actually a name for dilogy, but I call it a dilogy because it has two related parts. So the parts are Winter Tomatoes 1 and Winter Tomatoes 2. Winter Tomatoes 1. Tomatoes get me through winter. Not eating, dreaming. I hedge my tomato bets with a diversified portfolio. Super Sweet 100 Cherry, Big Daddy, Cherry Baby, Sandwich Slicer, Red Currant, Steak Sandwich, Sun Gold, Mountain Magic, Bloody Butcher. I can feel my fingers placing every seed. Place and pat the good soil, water, warm and wait, wonder at the bended stems, the emerging leaves. Dream of loads of tasty, large, 10-ounce luscious fruits, tangy, sweet, crisp, and just 1 inch in diameter. Breakthrough for taste, size, disease resistance, and yield. Give each plant a chance, each in its own cup to grow. Hundreds of cups, hundreds of tomatoes. And when their growth and time are right, I keep some of the best, I keep the worst. I am ready to share my wealth, to give the rest away, to say, good luck with your tomatoes. Winter Tomatoes 2. Tomatoes get me through winter, not eating, dreaming. I hedge my tomato bets with a diversified portfolio. Super Sweet 100 Cherry, Big Daddy, Cherry Baby, Sandwich Slicer, Red Currant, Steak Sandwich, Sun Gold, Magic Mountain, Bloody Butcher. I can feel my fingers placing every seed. Place and pat the good soil. Water, warm and wait, wonder at the bended stems, the emerging leaves. Dream of deliciously sweet cherry-type fruits. Scrumptious 2-ounce Campari tomatoes, dense cascading clusters, rich heirloom flavor and deep red color. Give each plant a chance, each in its own cup to grow, hundreds of cups, hundreds of tomatoes. And when their growth and time are right, I plant some of the best. I plant the worst. Water, weather, wait, wonder at the yellow blooms, wonder at the reddening fruit. Dreaming of sitting on the deck, tomatoes all around. Pick one, taste one. Pick one, taste one. Pick one, taste.
This is a poem I wrote a while back. It's called The Middleman. Why am I the middleman? What did I even do? They said that he was flirting. Is that really true? Why am I the middleman, being pulled between two sides, twisted and turned and pulled into our friendship will soon die? Why am I the middleman? Your jealousy wrought within. I don't see it. I really don't. Is that such a sin? For why am I the middleman? I don't want to be involved. This drama is too much for me. Just please become resolved. Look into the future. Tell me what you see. Are we still friends, or will we ever be? The middleman is now my name, my identity. I must accept that I am now the new middleman to be.
We are going to start round 2. So first up, we will have Sofia Viejo.
The Debt by Paul Lawrence. This is the debt I pay. This is the debt I pay. Just for a righteous day. Line. Years of regret and grief, sorrow without relief. Pay it I will to the end, until the grave, my friend. Give me a true release. Give me the clasp of peace. Slight was the thing I bought. Small was the debt I thought. Poor was the loan at best. God, but the interest.
Next, we have Vivian Nguyen.
Hap by Thomas Hardy. If but some vengeful god will call to me from up the sky and laugh, thou suffering thing, know that thy sorrow is my ecstasy, that thy love's loss is my hate's profiting. Then would I bear it, clench myself, and die, steeled by the sense of ire unmerited, half eased in that a powerful deny had willed and meted me the tears I shed. But not so. How arrives it joy lies slain? And why unblooms the best hope ever sown? Crass casualty obstructs sun and rain, and dicing time for gladness casts a moan. These purblind doomsters had as readily strown blisses about my pilgrimage as pain.
Next, we have Gabby Lynch.
Songs for the People by Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. Let me make the songs for the people, songs for the old and young, songs to stir like a battle cry whenever they are sung. Not for the clashing of sabers, for carnage or for strife, but songs to thrill the hearts of men with more abundant life. Let me make the songs for the weary amid life's fever and fret, till hearts relax their tension and careworn brows forget. Let me sing for little children amid... Line, please. Let me sing for little children before their footsteps stray, sweet anthems of love and duty to float o'er life's highway. I would sing for the poor and aged when shadows dim their sight, of the peaceful, restful mansions where there shall be no night. Our world, so worn and weary, needs music pure and strong to hush the jangles and discords of sorrow, pain, and wrong. Music to soothe all its sorrow, till war and crime shall cease. The hearts of men grow tender, girdle the world with peace.
Next up is Corinne Medford.
I Remember by Thomas Hood. I remember the house where I was born, the little window where the sun came peeping in at morn. He never came a wink too soon, nor brought too long a day, but now I often wish the night had borne my breath away. I remember the roses red and white, the violets and the lily cups, those flowers made of light. The lilacs where the robin built, and where my brother sat, the laburnum on his birthday, the tree is living yet. I remember where I was used to swing, and thought the air must rush as fresh as swallows on the wing. My spirit flew in feathers then, that is so heavy now, and summer pools could hardly cool the fever on my brow. I remember the fir trees dark and high. I used to think their slender tops were close against the sky. It was a childish ignorance, but now 'tis little joy to know I'm further off from heaven than when I was a boy.
Next is Cade Mead.
Envy by Mary Lamb. This rose tree is not made to bear the violet blue nor lily fair, nor the sweet mignonette. And if this tree were discontent, or wished to change its natural bent, it all in vain would fret. And should it fret, you would suppose it ne'er had seen its own red rose, nor after gentle shower had ever smelled its rose's scent, or it could ne'er be discontent with its own pretty flower. Like such a blind and senseless tree, as I've imagined this to be, all envious persons are. With care and culture all may find some pretty flower in their own mind, some talent that is rare.
Next is Nicole Cedrone.
To Have and Not to Hold by Marge Pierce. Learning to love differently is hard. Love with the hands wide open. Love with the doors banging on their hinges, the cupboard unlocked, the wind roaring and whimpering in the rooms, rustling the sheets and snapping the blinds that thwack like rubber bands in an open palm. It hurts to love wide open, stretching the muscles that feel as if they are made of wet plaster, then of blunt knives, then of sharp knives. It hurts to thwart the reflex of grab, of clutch, to love and let go again and again. It pesters to remember the lover who is not in the bed, to hold back what is owed to the work that gutters like a candle in a cave without air, to love consciously, conscientiously, concretely, constructively. I can't do it. You say it's killing me, but you thrive. You glow on the streets like a neon raspberry. You float and sail a helium balloon, bright bachelor's button blue and bobbing on the cold and hot winds of our breath as we make and unmake, in passionate diastole, in systole, the rhythm of our unbound bonding, to have and not to hold, to love with minimalized malice, hunger, anger, moment by moment, balanced.
Next up is Sanaya Jackson.
The Affliction of Richard by Robert Bridges. Love not too much, but how, when thou hast made me such? Dost thy gifts bestow, how can I love too much? Though I must fear to lose, and drown my joy and care, with all its thorns I choose the path of love and prayer. Though thou, I know not why, didst kill my childish trust, the breach with toil did I repair, because I must. In spite of frightening schemes, with which the fiends of hell blast me, thee, in my dreams. So far I had hoped well, but what the heavenly key? What marvels in me wrought shall quite exculpate thee. I have no shadow of thought. What am I that complain? The love from which began my question, sad and vain, justifies thee to man.
Next is Barack Silva.
Battle Hymn, Battle Hymn of the Republic by Julia Ward Howe. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fatal lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and damps. I can read his righteous sentence by the dim and flaring lamps. His day is marching on. I have read a fiery gospel, written burnished rows of steel. As ye deal with my contemners, so with you my grace shall deal. Let the hero, born of woman, crush the serpent with his heel, since God is marching on. He has sounded forth the trumpet that shall never call defeat. He is sifting out the hearts of men before his judgment seat. Oh, be swift, my soul, to answer him. Be jubilant, my feet. Our God is marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea. With a glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. He has died to make men holy. Let us die to make men free, while God is marching on.
And next is Licia Nassif.
First Love by John Clare. I ne'er was struck before that hour with love so sudden and so sweet. Her face it bloomed like a sweet flower and stole my heart away complete. My face turned pale as deadly pale, my legs refused to walk away, and when she looked, what could I ail? My life and all seemed turned to clay. And then my blood rushed to my face and took my eyesight quite away. The trees and bushes round the place seemed midnight at noonday. I could not see a single thing, words from my eyes did start. They spoke as chords do from the string, and blood burnt round my heart. Are flowers the winter's choice? Is love's bed always snow? She seemed to hear my silent voice, not love's appeals to know. I never saw so sweet a face as that I stood before. My heart has left its dwelling place and can return no more.
Great job to all of our contestants. All right. So first, I'd like to thank all of our contestants for participating tonight. You all did a great job. I'm especially proud to see all of the freshmen here. We haven't had a crowd this large in so long, and it's been so refreshing and nice to see that. So great job to everyone. We could give them a round of applause. Okay, so before we get to our top three, I'd like to just announce the others. I have little gifts for everyone, so when I call your name, just come on up and I'll give you a little gift baggie. This is in no particular order, so this is just for fourth place. We've got Sophia Viejo. Gabby Lynch. Corinne Medford. Sanaya Jackson. Barack Silva. And Licia Nassif. For those in first through third place, you have it's a fake check. You need to go see Mrs. O'Brien in the office on Monday, preferably. I'm going to email her tonight. Okay. So in third place, we have, double check everything here, Cade Mead. Congratulations. In second place, we have Vivian Nguyen. And in first place, we have Nicole Cedrone. Thank you all so much for coming. I hope you have a great night.